Every mark on this earth tells a tale. Every day that goes by without ever asking why, you believe in your dreams. Close your eyes and believe in magic as I hold your hand. Close your eyes, believe in magic. 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 Believe in magic.
Hi everyone, welcome. Good day, good evening, good morning, whatever time you are listening. Today is Tuesday, March 5th, 2019. I'm your host, Dianne Morgan, and I'm coming to you live from Texas. Welcome to Angel Navigation on International Angels Network. Thank you for joining me and allowing me to be in service today. Like most light workers, I do many things. I'm a spiritual teacher and coach, a channel of esoteric wisdom, a crystal angelic healer, as well as an angel intuitive. I love working with crystals and angels, and I'm also a published author, and you can find my books on Amazon. Just go to my author's page, Dianne, D-I-A-N-N-E, Morgan, to find a list of the works. And a little energy update for you before we get started. If you're feeling some intense energies or you noticed emotions and or other people getting upset, angry, or it just feels chaotic around you, well, we entered Mercury retrograde today. And this will be lasting through March the 28th. And remember, it's all about reworking, redoing, rethinking. It can cause electronic issues. So back up your computers. But, I always like to think that it's a time for reminiscing your journey and reminding yourself of where you started and where you are now, acknowledging your accomplishments and self-love. So let's open with an invocation for guidance with Archangel Uriel to remembering your divine identity. And this is by Catherine Glass. I call upon Archangel Uriel and the angels of light and pure love to encircle us at this time on our journeys as we stand openly in the vulnerability of our human awareness. We feel and receive all of the comfort, protection, and grace which surrounds us now and always. We know that we are a child of the divine, a holy creation of that energy and love. We know that we are never alone. We thank you, Archangel Uriel, and the angels of light and pure love, for lifting our hearts and minds with the wings of remembrance of our true divine identity. And so it is. Remember, you are beautiful beings of light. So if this is your first time listening to us, let me tell you a little bit about who we are. We, International Angels Network, we're the network that discusses angels, but also our divine creator, inner healing, and energy healing, fairies, light language, signs from your loved ones, just all things spiritual, metaphysical, and mystical. Plus, we love introducing spiritual entrepreneurs. And we're also dedicated to helping spiritual entrepreneurs and invite you to take a look at our International Angels Network Spiritual Entrepreneur Membership Program. And you can find that under the Membership tab at www.internationalangelsnetwork.com, or you could put /membership, and it will take you directly to the page. So we offer ongoing support, coaching, and mentoring for all our spiritual entrepreneurs worldwide, not just angel practitioners. So it's one-on-one help and tips that will help you create, and expand your spiritual business. Plus, you get your own IAN webpage and a listing in the IAN directory. And also, if you're looking for a spiritual practitioner, in this age that we're living in, you can work with anyone, near, far, on the other side of the world from you. So we invite you to visit our online IAN directory, where you'll find everything from readers, healers, mentors, coaches, teachers, metaphysical products, all for the mind, body, and spirit to help you with your spiritual growth. Now, we're a live call-in show, and the last half of the show will be taking your calls at 1-516-453-9162 for your questions on topic and mini readings with my special guest. And it's the same number, guys, for all of our shows, so you might want to put it in your phone or write it down, keep it handy. We have shows 6 days a week. So that's 1-516-453-9162. And if you have a question, press 1, and that'll get you in the queue. Now, there are several ways to call into our show. If you're listening on Blog Talk, you can Skype into the show for free while we're live from anywhere around the world. Just press the Skype icon, and that's at www.blogtalkradio.com/International Angels Network. Plus, we're live on YouTube, and you can subscribe to our channel by pressing the bell icon, which I believe is right at the top right, and get your reminders for all of our shows. And when we get 100 subscribers, since we've only been doing YouTube for a few months, we're going to be doing random drawings from some great prizes, guys. So subscribe to us on YouTube. Plus, you can, on Blog Talk and YouTube, you can join us in the chat room while we're live. We do answer your questions and pull cards from the chat rooms. And you can also connect with us while we're live on our Facebook fan page or on our website. And again, the website is www.internationalangelsnetwork.com. You just hit the call button while we're live, and it will connect you to the show. But whichever way you choose to call, be sure and press 1 with your questions. Then we're also on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, MyTuner Radio, which means you can listen to our shows on Amazon Alexa, Apple TV, Roku TV, and other smart TV devices, plus your Apple Watch or your car audio system, and so much more. And you can also find us on other platforms like iTunes, Blueberry, Stitchers, Castbox, Player FM, Google Play Music, Podbean, and many others. Then also we would like to thank our live shows are sponsored by Audible by Amazon, so we would like to thank Audible. And, they offer over 425,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. You can get a free audiobook, and I believe now they're also offering meditations, and you can download those with a 30-day free trial. You can cancel it at any time, and you get to keep the free products. So go to www.audibletrial.com/International Angels, which also helps support our online network, which we are very grateful to you for that. We'd also like to thank Sunday Sturgeon, founder and CEO of Holistic Light Rejuvenation Center, and our network sponsor. So you can find out more about this nonprofit center on our website. And then tonight's show is sponsored by Unite in the Light, offering online classes to help others open your gifts and strengthen your connection with the angels. Join Susie Parrott and myself. We now have 5 classes available online with exercises and visualizations, and we'll be continually adding new classes. So we invite you to visit our website at www.uniteinthelight.com. Now, tonight's show topic is, why does it seem my dreams and goals elude me? With my special guest, Marilyn Lawrence. Marilyn is an author of many books, like On an Angel's Wing, Real Life Angelic Encounters and Divine Lessons, From Pink to Blue and Black and Back Again, Finding Our Purpose in a Distracting World, a Donavan Memory, I gave the sun a bath, an environmentally conscious motivational book for children, The Balloon That Saw the World, and then 28-day sculpting challenge, utilizing energy magnetism to sculpt the life you want to live. Plus, she has more books in the works. She's embracing her path with gusto and passion via her books, workshops, coaching, and seminars. Marilyn teaches adults and children alike to recognize their purpose, divine qualities, so they can make the difference they were born to make in this life, and so they can achieve full life satisfaction. Marilyn was twice recognized by Focus on Women magazine, was presented the Carol Flynn Quell Award at the Women of Impact Gala held at Johns Hopkins University. She's been a guest on several radio shows, and she's been quoted in blogs and on websites, and she's been a featured speaker at various events and has been featured in newspaper articles and magazines. She enjoys an active schedule of writing, speaking, book signings, private coaching sessions, and teaching. It is her greatest passion and desire to help people align with their truths so they can once again feel the joy of unrestricted progression. You can find her on her website at www.marilyn, Marilyn, Lawrence.com, and www.28daysculptingchallenge.com. She's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the best way to reach her is by email, and that's marilynlawrence257@gmail.com. Marilyn says belief is the fuel to everything. If you believe that you can do something, have something, be something, then you can. And if you believe that you cannot, then that becomes your reality. So let's have her join us now. Hi, Marilyn.
Hello.
I'm excited to have you here to share your teachings with us. And
thank you so much for inviting me to join you. I love the energy that you've placed on this already. It's just so angelic. So thank you for including me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking the time out. You have quite a busy schedule.
Yes, I do now. I do have a busy schedule, but what joy.
Yes, I understand. The angels can keep us very busy on our purpose and path, can't they?
They can. We spoke about this briefly, but, we sometimes forget to listen. And we go along our day thinking, yeah, we'll listen to it a little bit. And the next thing you know, you're whammed with something that's difficult to deal with. When all along, if you would have just accepted what the angels were asking, you would have moved in grace. So life is interesting.
It just kind of flows. Well, with the limited time, I like to just dive right in. So, shall we?
Perfect.
You've written many books. So how were you inspired to write your books?
It's very interesting because this is not always been my career path, and I, speaking to the angels, I got knocked on the side of the head and said, it's time for you to get out of the life of all about Marilyn and get into the life of all about taking care of and delivering the messages for others. So, that's a pretty big thing. That's a pretty big change your career. Move into something that you don't know anything about. But I know that my English teacher from high school is rolling over in her grave, knowing that I'm a published author. Right. But I can tell you that with belief comes everything. With belief comes everything.
I completely understand that. When I was guided to write my book and my first book, and it was like, I don't know that I can do this. I'm not grammarly perfect. But it was something I know that I agreed to do long before I came here. And once I finished it, it was just the doors that began to open and the opportunities that came in. And in fact, before it was published, I said, I think God's waiting for me to finish this book before anything's going to happen. And that's exactly what happened. Wow.
I agree with that too, Diane. I remember receiving messages and kind of denying the messages, actually, going in disbelief of the messages. And I think that there's some really valid reasons for that. If you believe that you can't, as you indicated in that quote, then you can't. But if we move ourselves into the angelic presence of our everyday activities, success is blinded by the actual event. There's so much possibility.
Oh, yeah. And events were put into my life where I wasn't doing teaching and doing what I had done in the past, and actually got the message it would behoove you to cancel your classes. I was like, okay, well, all right. So for the last 4 months of the year, I did cancel them. And I had started writing this book several years back. And so then I got up one day and I said, okay, what are we doing? And I heard, write. Oh, okay. So it was like, okay, all right. I got the message. This is what I'm to be doing right now. But you also teach workshops and you speak at seminars and you work with clients in private session coaching. Tell us, what do you feel separates your style from others?
Gosh, that's a really difficult question, and it's a great question. I thank you for asking. I can't actually define one particular way that's different from others. I know that when I moved into this current path, the most difficult thing for me to learn was to believe the messages that I was receiving. Just because the messages were coming to me in my own voice doesn't mean that they're not the messages that are divinely guided for us. In fact, I do a lot of private coaching, right? Intuitive coaching. And I have a gal that I'm on the West Coast, drove up from another state because she wanted in-person with me. And she brought a friend with her, sitting in my office. And she asked if her friend could come in and sit in the office too. I said, sure, no problem. I can't. Sometimes we have, messages that come in that that's fine. So I'm about 15 minutes into my session with my client, and all of a sudden I get the message, macaroni and cheese. And I have an argument in my head. I was going to say macaroni and cheese. We're in depth with this angel messages, and macaroni and cheese pops in, but I made a promise I was going to deliver every message. So I said, I'm hearing macaroni and cheese. And her friend started crying. And then I said, and now I see an eagle flying in. And her friend started sobbing. Unbeknownst to me, her husband had passed just a few months earlier, and they would always get on the Harley and drive around and try macaroni and cheese in different places.
Aw, beautiful.
So her husband...
But I totally, I get it, because I have, with my clients, similar things to where it's like such a bizarre message, but it's like I did the same thing. It's like, okay, I'm just going to deliver, because I found when I didn't and it came up later, it was something of value to that person. So it's like I just have to deliver what I'm hearing, because it does mean something to that person. That's beautiful.
Exactly. And, we can't judge what's coming through, and that's the same way that I do my writing, the same way that I do my seminars. We can't prejudge what's coming through. And who are we then to say to, I say God, but source, whomever you identify with, who are we to tell the angels, no, I think I'm going to do it this way. I think I'm not going to deliver your message that you said.
Right, exactly. Exactly. And I think being claircognizant, claircognizant to me is the hardest clair. But Michael, early on, and when I would doubt the messages, like we were talking about, and going, really, you want me to say that? I'm just, and he once said to me, hearing us is no different than the thoughts in your head. And that was like a breakthrough for me. Okay, so it is them I'm hearing. I'm just going to say it.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So have you found a common thread or reason when you're helping people?
That's what's so fun. During the private sessions, and you could probably identify with this because you reach into different parallels when you're working as well. But I have no idea what is going to happen. Even with my regulars, I have no idea what each session will bring. Sometimes we have loved ones that have graduated. One time I had a white duck come in. And this was another time I'm like, I'm not going to say there's a white duck here. It was one of those great big ducks. First I didn't know if it was a goose or a duck, right? And it had that orange bill. And so I said to her, I got to stop because there's a white duck here. It's right in my face, orange bill. And she started crying. It was her favorite pet growing up. And so this white duck stays with her. So I have graduated loved ones come in. Sometimes they take me into healing. I do a lot of healing with people. They show me the body and what's inside and the light and the dark. And so it's always a tree. Common thread, I would say the biggest common thread would be all the stuff I find when I'm in looking around, all the emotions that we're holding on to from past experiences, as though we're pulling those up to hurt ourselves. When we're feeling down, then we'll go into our little secret hiding place and find that experience. A lot of stuff with youth I run into. And whatever dad said or mom said, we'll bring it up and we'll remind ourselves just why we are a problem or having a problem. I think that would probably be the most common thread.
Right, yeah. I know, have to go back with your duck. I remember seeing a pink flamingo and kept going, I am not going to tell them there's a pink flamingo in here. And finally I did, and it was the person I was working with, it was her husband's favorite thing was the pink flamingo, and he had transcended a few years prior. So, yeah. And do you find, I know in doing energy healing work, I would venture to bet 9 out of 10 of my clients, we do a lot of solar plexus work, because so many people, like you were saying, that their memories from what their mom said or their dad said, and they're stuffing those and giving their own willpower away and not standing, in who they are. And I found that, the first year when I started doing healing work, I kept saying, I'm always having, solar plexus. It comes up all the time in the healing. So do you find that is the common as well?
Well, I do. And here's another common is I find everybody has secret hiding places. And a lot of times, like, the secret hiding places, like I never want to look at or think about that again, but I'm going to hold on to it. I'm not going to just release it. I think I'll just hold on to it. Pull it in sometime and think about it. But I'll find that, like, hidden behind the heart chakra. Or sometimes I'll find it in an elbow. And the person's like, oh, yeah, my elbow's been hurting for years. All these little secret hiding places. It's so easy once we have identified that we're still holding on to the emotional vibration of situations, and those emotional vibrations are harming us, to give pure intention of releasing them. And once we start doing that, we clear ourselves up. And, just like the angels say, everything's easy. Don't overthink it. If you say, I am releasing this, it's not part of my reality, I don't dig how that feels around me anymore, then it's done. Then it's released.
Right. So who do you work with? Angels, guides, etc.? I think you just said you never know who's going to come in.
I don't. I always set up a protected space, a protected grid before I work with anyone, and I do that when I go to shows or do my seminars. or talks. And I, as I mentioned before, I say God. I ask God and God's angels and archangels. I ask divine mastery level and higher. And I ask my guides, counsel, and guardian angels. And if it's a one-on-one coaching, then I ask their guides, counsel, and guardian angels to come in. So we're working in this protected space, not allowing any riffraff, not allowing any lower energies to come in. So the messages that will be delivered will be pure. And I always ask that they're for the highest and greatest good of that individual today and this day forward. So I never know who's going to come in. Most often I work with Archangel Metatron and Archangel Michael. They both aid me with the shielding and the cutting the cords and the chakras. Archangel Metatron is wonderful with the chakras. But from there, it could be a grandmother. A graduated grandmother. I just never know who's going to be helping.
Yeah, no, I get it completely, because people will come in for a healing session and then all of a sudden, I do the same as you. I set up I call it my grid, my crystal healing grid, and when I do any work, and I'm thinking I'm going to be doing a healing session, and all of a sudden a dog will come in, or a grandmother, or just, it's just like, okay, so I'll just tell them when we get through here.
I just love it. I love it.
I do too. It's amazing to me sometimes. So, okay, we're about halfway through. So tell me how you came up with the concept for the 28-day sculpting challenge.
Oh, that's great. Thanks for that question. Actually, my last book that has been published is 28 Days of Assignments. So here I am, and I'll regress just a little bit. I mentioned that I'd not always been in this career, and so when I started receiving the messages that I was going to be writing books and going out and speaking in front of people, I put the brakes on immediately because, as I mentioned, my English teacher thought that I was pretty poor in that subject, but I learned with a good editor, you can do just about anything. And then I got the message that you're going to be talking in front of people, and that was my most difficult one. And I knew, since I wrote my own mission statement for this life, that was one of the things that I needed to master in this lifetime. I knew that because in college I dropped speech twice. Not once, but twice I dropped speech because that's the phrase to talk in front of people. But, the most interesting thing happens when you embrace your past and when you are doing what you are to be doing in this life. You have universal support, and all of a sudden the fears vanish.
Yes.
And I have absolutely no fear talking to a group of 10 or a group of 1,000. It is the most magical evolution, I would say. I actually forgot what the question was. I'm sorry.
How did you come up with the concept for the 28-day sculpting? But, as we say, if something comes out, it's because somebody listening needed to hear it.
Yes, exactly. So I was doing pretty well in my mind. I embraced writing and publishing books, and I embraced going around to different events and speaking engagements, and I thought I was doing well, Okay, I'm doing what you ask, and I'm listening, and I'm even delivering the mac and cheese, I'm doing well. And then some stuff started happening in my life that wasn't so pleasant. I'm like, whoa. What's going on here? I've been doing everything you've wanted me to do. Why are you putting these kind of hurdles in front of me? But then I caught myself, and I remembered. So for 2 weeks straight, every time my mind would go, or I'd get that gut-wrenching feeling of fear or doubt setting in, I would stop it and say, nope, everything that's happening is for my highest and greatest good. I know that. I have complete faith. Everything that's happening is for my highest and greatest good. And at the end of that 2-week test period, things started happening for me. I get called. I call my husband at work. I'm like, you can't even believe who just called me. These amazing things, bigger than my life board things, started happening for me. So I said, thank you, angels. I appreciate this. And they said, glad you like it. Now go write the book and teach it. So that's how 28 Day came about. 28 days of assignment based on watching our words, thoughts, and actions. Because, everybody seems to have heard about the law of attraction, right? Everyone knows about the law of attraction.
Right.
But they're not practicing it. If it is as simple as shifting one mind thought to another mind thought to attract what you want, then let's do it. So that's how 28 Day came about. Some pain. I had to go through the gravel. But, I made it back to the pavement, and easy sailing. Just like life. Just like life.
Wow. So what's most fulfilling for you now?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What is most fulfilling for you now in your practice? Fulfilling.
Fulfilling.
I'm from the South. Fulfilling.
I'm from the West Coast. We have to listen really hard for that.
We speak a different language, right?
Same words, just differently. My most fulfilling thing. Let's see, my most fulfilling thing. I would say my most fulfilling thing is getting the email from the person saying, I did it. I got that job. I believe in myself. I threw away doubt. I quit the job I hated, and I'm moving it into my mastery. Watching this transition of people, watching them let go of the things that have harnessed them down for years and moving into their joy and their love. Boy, not much better than that.
Yeah.
But, writing is pretty good. I'm sure that you, like when I wrote the angel book, On an Angel's Wing, in my fuzzy slippers for like 6 months, just in the zone with the angels. Sad when that book ended. So getting in that writing zone and then having people read the book and say, man, that touched me. So a lot of fulfillment, a lot of deep soul fulfillment in my career. I feel honored every day to be part of it.
Yeah. I understand that. I think as teachers, that is our fulfillment, is to watch them grow. Because I always say I just want everybody to feel the joy that I feel. So, okay. Well, you want to tell us about events or services that you'd like to focus on, and then I'm going to do a few announcements, and we'll open the lines.
All right. Well, do you mind if I just interject one thing before we talk about it? I remember in first grade, our first grade teacher had us write 3 things that we wanted to be when we grew up. 3 things. And anyone who's struggling with knowing or identifying what they wanted to be, or what they're supposed to be, rather, their life purpose, can go back to these memories of when we're young. Because when we're young, and in my book From Peak to Blue and Back Again, I interviewed kids 3 years old to like 12. So fun. Loved it. But there's still a memory. The soul still has a memory. It's not trained out of us yet. And I remember writing, I want to be a mom, I want to be a teacher, and I want to be a nurse. And here I am, accomplishing all of them.
A teacher, and a healer.
Yeah. So all we have to do is go back to when we were young, when we were little, what did we want to play with? What did we like? What did we like? That is the identification of our purpose.
And similar, I always tell them, think about what made your heart sing when you were a child.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
because
it's the same thing. Yeah.
You know, and we get directed on other paths, and we get lost, and we get directed onto the path of our parents, or, you know, not by any
we
ill
get attuned
intent.
to society, and
Yes.
yeah.
But the coolest thing is, no matter how far off path we are, we can always make our way back to path, and we can have the grandeur of the life that we wrote down for ourselves. And that is the magic of living a divinely blessed life. Yes.
Yes.
So I do have, well, you know what? If people would like to check me out, they could go to my website. I think that you did announce those, MarilynLawrence.com. Marilyn Lawrence, MarilynLawrence.com. Also, the 28-Day Sculpting Challenge has its own website, 28daysculptingchallenge.com. Both of those will give information either about the Sculpting Challenge or the different events that I'm participating in. I do, my day is filled with the what I call private coaching sessions via phone now, because I got too busy to do in person. And I have clients Prague, England, New York. I have clients all over. I just am feeling incredibly blessed with my life. And like we were saying earlier, when we learn to listen and get out of the way of allowing our mind to overthink details that keep us clogged down in one event, we are free to go further than our imagination ever thought it could.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure, you know, you, like me, never dreamed I'd be doing what I'm doing. If you would have told me that when I was back in corporate America, I would have thought you had lost your mind.
Right. Yeah, all my friends from my old job were looking at me like, oh, man, she really flew off the...
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that...
Yeah, guess who are my clients now? Guess who's buying my books now? So
exactly. I hear you, girl. Okay, well, we're halfway through the show, so, God, time just flies. So let's give our listeners a chance to talk to you. Let me give a few announcements, and then we'll open our lines at 1-516-453-9162. Press 1 to get in the queue with your questions for Marilyn. She's offering healing and readings, and Marilyn is an intuitive reader, as we were discussing, so she will give you the messages from whoever pops in, be a master, an angel, maybe a loved one. It's just whoever pops in and gives her the message. So tomorrow, Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, March 6th, Angel Talk with Sue, with your host, Sue Broom. She'll have topic and mini readings. Then Thursday, March 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern is the Alex Levy Show. And this will be a podcast with motivational speaker and author Eric Myers. Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. UK time, that's March the 9th, is Angelic Light with Susie Parrott. And her special guest is Lisa Stampler, Healing Reconnection to Mind, Body, and Soul. No show on Sunday. Monday is March the 11th at 9 p.m. Eastern is Divine Guidance with Shishi O'Donnell. And she's going to be talking about fifth dimensional living plus mini readings. And then join me back here next Tuesday, March the 12th at 9 p.m. Eastern. It will be a podcast and an uplifting meditation with my special guest, Karen Purvis, and she is the author of Gratitude Prompts. So don't forget to visit our website at www.internationalangelsnetwork.com. You'll find information there on our host, like Alex Levy and his new oracle cards and all the places he's teaching, Sue Broom and her courses, plus her new oracle cards, and myself and Susie Parrott and our course Connecting with the Angels, plus our Spiritual Entrepreneurs membership program. And you can sign up to be a guest under the Guest tab. Plus, we have our new blog, The Divine Mission, and you can connect with me there at www.internationalangelsnetwork.com/Dianne, Dianne. or you can visit my website at diannemorgan.com. So, Marilyn, you want to remind our listeners again the best way to get a hold of you, honey?
Well, I guess the best way is my email, Marilyn Lawrence 257 at gmail.com. Or just to hop onto my website, you can contact me through my website. It comes straight to my email address. I answer all my emails myself, so.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So are you ready to take a few calls?
I am, but I have to tell you that there's a Springer Spaniel that's coming in. I don't know who there has the Springer Spaniel that's graduated, but he's a beautiful Springer Spaniel jumping in here.
Aww.
So whoever that's for.
I had one for a very short period of time, but that was quite some time back. What color?
Well, I was feeling it was either you or probably white and brown. So it's white with brown, and the brown is kind of a medium brown, but there's a little bit lighter brown in areas. And the Springer Spaniels have some of the spots on their fur, and those like the legs are white and the spots are brown. This tan brown color.
Wow.
Beautiful.
Wow. The one I had, actually, even after getting a distemper shot, got a distemper and passed away. As a very young dog at the time. So, all right. So it's easy to join us on air. Call 1-516-453-9162. Press 1 to get in the queue, or ask in the chat room on Blog Talk or YouTube. And I'm required by law to tell you readings are for entertainment purposes, and energy healing is an alternative medicine and works hand in hand with traditional medicine. We do not recommend that you stop following your physician's advice or stop taking your medications when you have an energy healing treatment without talking to your doctor first. Okay, so we have for you, Marilyn, Belinda Mayers, and she would like a general reading.
Hello. Did you say Belinda or Melinda?
Belinda, and this is from the chat room, so she's not on the phone.
Sorry. Okay. And she would just like a general reading. Well, there's something about a new job coming in. So if she's been thinking about having a new job, or her mind's going towards a job, there is endorsement for this job. Also, there's something going on with the digestive. So we probably should look at what's triggering this digestive situation here. It looks like there's interference. Something that she's eating is interfering with a nice flow. So we'll have to take a look at that. Caused somewhat by the stress, but mostly by by a certain food. There's a picture of a striped shirt. So this is a horizontally striped shirt. I'm not sure what is showing this picture, this shirt. I don't know whether it is if you, Belinda, identify this shirt with an experience from the past. It has more of that feeling like the shirt is identified with an experience from the past. And if that's the case, then it's something that we need to, I like to neutralize some of the vibrations of experiences so that they don't register. Because, like attracts like, scientific facts, like energy attracts like energy. So if we're holding on to an energy and we don't want to relive that situation again, then we need to basically neutralize. And I find a great way of neutralizing an energy is by simply not making it part of your reality. Because if something's not part of our reality, we literally can't see it or taste it. It's not part of our reality. Does that make sense?
Yes. And she says, for your confirmation, this is it from the YouTube chat room. Yes, she has acid reflux.
It feels, we do see that the stress is adding to that, but there's some food here, and I see it, when I see this food, it's actually causing this. So I would have to spend just a little bit more time with this, Belinda, to see what this food is that's making this reaction. But I'll tell you, Belinda knows how to muscle test. She knows how to feel the food. So that's what she should do, is feel this food, feel her different foods when she's getting ready to eat them, and she'll recognize which one is not friendly, which one is not friendly.
Okay. Belinda, we hope that helps. And then Dora Diaz is in our YouTube chat room. And can you get a general on her?
Well, I'm really excited. I have just this real excitement feeling when I tune into Dora, and it's there's some excitement like around a child. So I don't know if we have. And you know what I mean? Shown as like a birthday party for the child. So it's a real exciting party type of thing for the child.
She has twins.
Yeah. So is she planning a birthday party right now?
Their birthday's probably coming up, yeah.
And we just want Dora to know that there's someone, and I'm just not going to mention who this individual is, but someone in her environment causes a lot of pressure and stress to her. And what we'll ask her to do is to just start sending forgiveness and love to that person, so that we're going to be reversing the feeling and the charge that you're getting from that person. And I'm not saying that this is going to be easy, because this has been kind of building up and this reaction. But just say, okay, I'm going to stop judging. I'm just going to send love, because I don't want to live with this kind of pressure or this kind of anxiety. And I'm just going to move on.
All right. So we hope that helps you, Dora. And then we have Shelley from Texas on the phone. Shelley, are you there, sweetie?
Hi. Yes,
Hi.
I am.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. I've enjoyed everything so.
Hello?
Would gladly take just a general reading myself. Everyone's enjoying theirs. I'll do the same.
Okay. Marilyn, this
Shelley,
is Shelley from Texas.
Hi, Shelley from Texas. Hey, thanks for not having that drawl.
All right,
well,
you
I'm
make it
really
funny, girl.
from Texas. And if you want, y'all.
See, she said she could do it.
She could. Well, are you planning a trip? It feels like you've got a trip coming up here. Going somewhere. This feels like a vacation or something.
Time.
I'm sorry. Just cut out just a little bit.
I seem to travel all of the time, yes. I don't have one specifically, but that does seem to be my life.
Well, this is feeling more like a cruise. This is feeling like an actual vacation, not work travel. This is definitely
my boyfriend offered me a trip to Alaska on a cruise.
Yes, they are endorsing this. They're saying that it's time. It's really important for you to spend some time healing and chilling, healing and just being in space without the heavy expectations.
Okay.
So the pressure that you have to deal with sometimes and it seems like it really fluctuates. The requests that you get really fluctuate, and that creates a lot of pressure. Having this trip is going to be really calming and helpful for you.
Okay.
Now, did you break your ankle or something? Your ankle?
My foot.